What's going on, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Dylan and Ross Save Sports. We out here on Full Press Coverage, Full Press Radio Network. Thank you very much for being with us today. You've got myself, Ross Jackson, at Ross Jackson Nola on Twitter, and my boy over at y'all, Dylan Sanders, at Dilly Sanders on Twitter. Today, we're going to be talking about Hard Knocks, about some Summer League basketball, but as always, we start off with the pleasantries. Dylan, how are you, man?
I am doing great.
Good.
Today's a good day. I stayed up late last night to watch What If. Cried because it was the Chadwick Boseman episode.
Wait a minute. On Twitter, you said you didn't cry.
I didn't say. I said I didn't not cry.
Did not cry.
Didn't not cry. Because it was Chadwick Boseman.
Yep.
And it was. I think as much I liked the first episode, I thought this episode was leagues better.
Dope. Okay. I'm excited to see it because I loved the first episode. You know, I'm a big Peggy Carter fan. I loved the first episode. And so I'm really excited to see this. And I was excited to see this episode anyway.
This one delves into more of how Chadwick Boseman's character is changed, but it delves more into how the other universe has changed because of Chadwick Boseman's character.
Awesome.
And it's pretty good.
I love
pretty
it.
good. Ross, I want to go into my favorite thing from Twitter.
All yours, my friend. All yours.
All right, this is going to be a little bit of a longer one because I have a clip, but it's a minute. And I want us to watch a minute of this video.
Okay.
Because it is so good. It's just, I think, perfectly encapsulates the feeling of the Atlanta Falcons, Ross.
Okay. You're gonna have to do some explaining for our audio side too, of course.
Okay, yeah. Well, no, it's not. It's gonna be mostly audio.
Okay, dope.
Of course, the Atlanta Falcons, by the way, Ross, are.
I'd like to sit up there and say something that I've never said about an NFL team before. I mean, Atlanta Falcons might be the dumbest team that I've witnessed in the modern era.
Fair.
Ross, yeah, that's fair. I had to wear my Saints hat for this one. Ross, our coworkers over at SB Nation, I don't know if you've had the chance to see it, over at Secret Base, have started their. Have you ever watched a Secret Base video?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they started. You know how incredibly in depth they go, and it's really fun. Have you watched the first episode of the Atlanta Falcons documentary yet?
No, I have not.
Okay, so I want to share this 1 minute that I think is just the funniest thing about the Atlanta Falcons. A little preface. The start of this game is talking about a game in about probably 50 years ago, where both teams' quarterbacks finished with a passer rating of 0.0.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you know how hard that is to do.
That's really hard.
Because, of course, if you throw the ball away every possession, every throw is thrown into the ground or into the stands, you finish with a baseline of 39.3.
Right.
This is a game in which both quarterbacks threw 0.0. Quite possibly the worst game of all time because this is the only time that has ever happened. This is the worst example of quarterback play of all time. But so it starts off talking about that, and it's talking about their head coach. The head coach is Norm Van Brocklin, and he is the main part of this little segment because I want to ask what coach today would do what he does at the end of this clip.
Okay, all right.
All right. So let's go over here, share audio. All right.
There's no explanation for it. There's no explanation for Pat Sullivan, the Falcons backup who replaced Lee, running up the gut and just dropping the ball with nobody in the center.
No.
There's no explanation for star linebacker Greg Brazina doing the same, recovering a fumble only to fumble it himself and watch the Cardinals take it in for 6 points. It was the most thorough mockery of the quarterback position ever seen in the NFL. And Norm Van Brocklin, once the greatest quarterback in America, had to watch it all happen right in front of him. Couldn't even muster any anger after the game. There was no big blow-up. No long diatribe about the Teapot Dome scandal or whatever. He just seemed sad. The loss ultimately torpedoed their playoff chances, and it precipitated another freefall that lasted several years. Van Brocklin saved his greatest performance for the very end, after a 42-7 hammering at the hands of the Miami Dolphins in 1974 that dropped the Falcons to 2-6. Today's coaches throw fits. Yeah, they'll yell at reporters or try to make them look stupid, but none of them are Norm Van Brocklin, who stood at the podium that day and basically said, "I will fight you all," challenging every reporter in the room to a fist fight, right then and there, straight up.
Wow.
The Dutchman's prelude to being fired by the Falcons was an exchange with an Atlanta sports writer. The writer asked Van Brocklin if he was still a fighter after the Falcons had been bombed by the 42-7. What an incendiary comment by that reporter, by the way.
Reporting was mad different back then, too.
Yeah. I've been bombed by Miami 42-7 and had fallen to a 2-6 record. You're damn right I'm a fighter, Van Brocklin said. Are you a fighter? Van Brocklin reacted back, do you want to fight me? Anyone who wants to fight, stand up, if Van Brocklin said during a news conference.
Yikes.
I took him up on it. I think everyone knew that he 100% meant it. He was fired the next day, and he never coached in the NFL again. To fans who'd wanted him fired for years,
There we go.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Norman and writers did not have the best relationship. It explains a little bit earlier that he insults them and uses words that we don't like to use.
Oh my.
Yeah. So we nothing like.
Oh, okay.
That bad, but
okay, I hear you.
Yeah. Nothing like that bad, but still not good and not respectful. Everyone, please go watch the first episode of that series. It is so funny, so good. My favorite quote of it is, the Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints, the Beavis and Butthead of the NFL.
I've never thought about it that way, but I will never not think about it that way ever again.
Yeah, it was incredible. I cannot wait. There are 7 episodes, and Ross, of course, we all know how it ends, and I can't wait for it.
That's right. We do know the ending of this story, and we love it.
And they live for it. And it starts off. It starts off at the moment when the game goes to 28-9. It starts off when the Super Bowl goes to 28-9, and it starts like talking about. It goes to a bunch of Atlanta Falcons fans that work at SB Nation, and people telling stories of how excited they were to go out and celebrate at the time, and then it goes. But first, let's take a look back at how we got here, or whatever.
Yeah.
So
you might be asking yourself how we got here.
Yeah, basically. So it goes back. And man, it is incredible. It's 45 minutes long. Well worth it. It flies by.
I love secret-based stuff, man. At SB Nation, they do a really phenomenal job, and it's
shout out John Boys.
Yeah, mad entertaining. So I'm excited to watch the rest of it. I can't wait to get to the end of it. Oh, it's gonna be good. That's outstanding. That is absolutely outstanding. Now,
Ross, I was gonna say, what coach?
Yeah.
Do you see today standing up in front of a news conference and asking to fight? And it's pretty easy, right?
I feel like this is easy.
Who do you think it is?
Dan Campbell.
Exactly. It's Dan Campbell.
1,000% Dan Campbell.
I'm surprised Dan Campbell has made it in 3 weeks without offering to fight anybody.
The funny thing about Dan Campbell is that he would do it with no malicious intent. Mm-hmm. It would just be
with ease.
And with absolute no hesitation at all. It would just be like a real quick, just kind of like, is anyone looking for a sparring partner? Like that kind of a situation. But he would definitely be the one head coach that I would say would ask people to stand up if they wanted to fight in a press conference. 1,000%. He said he does 2 venti coffees, hot coffees from Starbucks. Both of them with 2 shots of espresso in them. So they're called black eye hot coffees or black eyes. And I have to be careful how I say that. Black eyes. And so it's
Ross,
like,
you don't have to be
I
careful.
guess I don't have to be careful. I guess Dan
have to-
Campbell and you have to be careful. But
Yeah.
but yeah, they're called black guys, and you're able to, and he drinks both of those before 8 a.m. apparently. So catch him at the right time. I'm sure he's ready to fight somebody.
I'm ready to fight right now. Ross, you want to go?
Do you want me to stand up if I want to fight?
Yeah, let's
Is that
go.
what I'm hearing? Is that what I'm hearing? No, I don't want to fight.
They cut our broadcast.
They were like, "This can't happen. This can't happen."
Oh man,
my goodness. All right, so that has to lead in because there's a commonality here between this and your favorite thing from Twitter, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, what is your favorite thing from Twitter today?
My favorite thing from Twitter was just a clip of Jalen Waddle, absolutely just leaving a Falcons defender in the dirt. I don't have it up.
It's okay. He cooked him.
He absolutely cooked him. It was great, right? Right? Wild. It was so much fun.
Yeah. It was a good moment.
You know what I didn't think about, Ross?
What was that?
How excited I am and how unfair it is that Derek Stingley Jr. and Elias Ricks are getting coached by both Durante Jones and Corey Joseph.
I know. Isn't that wild?
Isn't that like just unfair? Like a guy who has historically improved NFL cornerbacks while they're already in the NFL for years, and then another guy who has routinely produced NFL-ready defensive backs. I feel like LSU is going to be really good this year. I feel like their defense has the chance to be really good. It all comes down to game plan. And Ross, you want to know what was one of the worst things about NFL's defense last year? It was the communication between the cornerbacks and the safeties.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know what Durante Jones has done to completely fix that? Apparently,
what?
He has them. He has the cornerbacks and safeties in the same meetings, which was something that was not happening last year.
Excuse me?
Yeah. Apparently, they were just in completely separate meetings. The entire season.
Did they also split up the guards and tackles and centers? Like, what the hell? What are you doing?
I don't know, but apparently that was one of the big issues. Shockingly, the two parts of the defense that that need to be able to communicate were training in different rooms.
That's incredible. I just love the fact that somehow Bo Pelini walked in and saw a room called the defensive backs room and said, no.
This is cornerback room.
That over there is the safety room on like the other side of the facility. That's insane. Mm-hmm. That's wild.
Well, he had them meet at separate times, probably. This is the defensive backs room, but only one group can use it at a time.
That's right. Yeah, you come in, you're in at 3, y'all are in at 5. There you go.
Yeah.
Jeez. I wonder what else they did that with. Like the defensive ends, defensive tackles, did they meet separately? Sam linebackers, Will linebackers, Mike linebackers, Star linebackers, Buck linebackers. They actually had separately.
They actually had different rooms for the Y, X, and Z receivers. Even though they switch.
Right. Eric Gilbert, who can be split out wide as a split end, was meeting in a different room than the true Y.
He had his own room.
Yeah, tight ends. Like, geez, man, that's terrible.
Mm-hmm. Halfbacks and fullbacks in different rooms.
Right.
That's crazy.
Man, imagine that. Putting it all in the same room and watching communication get better. Who'd have thunk?
Who'd have thunk?
So who could use that?
Who could use that?
The Atlanta Falcons.
All right, Ross. Do you want to get into Hard Knocks? Or do you have a favorite thing from Twitter?
Not really.
Okay.
I've been very busy. I'm good with Hard Knocks because Hard Knocks is my favorite thing.
All right, Ross. You just watched the episode, so I want to let's have you go through it.
I'm actually going to start off with what I didn't like.
Okay.
I'm going to start off with what I didn't like. And spoiler alert, I guess. Anyway, what I didn't like is the way that they covered the preseason game.
Mm-hmm.
They covered the preseason game in such a way that you walk away with the impression that because the sack fumble didn't stand because of the holding penalty or the false start penalty, and then because the holding penalty didn't get called, that it is somehow bad news for Azur Kamara. And any person that understands beyond the casual nature of NFL football and the preseason and player evaluation and traits-based scouting knows that those are still positive plays for Kamara.
Mm-hmm.
And that the coaching staff will still look at those and say, they did a really good job with that part. Right? So that was bothersome to me that they did a really good job in that part. You know what I mean? More eloquently than that, more coach speak than that, obviously. But to me, that was something that I thought they came up short with, was just covering it in such a way that it somehow spelled bad news for Kamara when it's not. Like, I think everybody wanted to win, and I get that. I get the idea of like, oh, well, they have a long way to go because they still want to win a preseason game here. However, don't downplay the kid's success because he had a phenomenal game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's all. Even though I generally temper my expectations about third string, like third team defensive linemen making plays in the pass rush in a preseason game, at the end of a preseason game.
Mm-hmm.
I like note that, and I want to watch and see if they elevate to a second team or a third team, or second team or a first team after that, and see if they get an opportunity against better offensive linemen, because offensive lineman play is so bad in the NFL. I don't take too much away from the third guys in that line.
Yeah.
So that's what I didn't like. What I did like is how incredibly wholesome CeeDee Lamb is.
Yeah, I did like CeeDee Lamb. He
mad wholesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My favorite part happened at the very beginning of the episode.
Yeah.
With Ezekiel Elliott. It was the most relatable thing I've ever seen on Hard Knocks. Where he had to go get some baby powder.
Uh-huh.
and could not focus until he stopped the chafing. Ross, I don't know if you know this, but Gooch was trending last night on Twitter.
Oh, no, I did not know that.
Yeah, and it was all because of Ezekiel Elliott, and that was definitely easily my favorite part. Also, another good part is, of course, TikTok megastar Ben DiNucci.
Yes.
And it's not him. He doesn't make TikToks. But there's a sound. There's a sound that says Ben DiNucci, and people use it all the time.
All the time.
On TikTok. And apparently him and Michael Parsons have a chess rivalry. They were talking some mad trash. It was hilarious. You're not good. It's just like that's my favorite. That's my favorite excuse whenever someone loses. It's like, you're not even good.
Right.
And what does that make you? You lost.
You lost to the person that you're saying is not even good.
Yeah. What was your favorite part other than CeeDee Lamb? Do you have any other good moments?
I think I thought it was cool watching the two international players after the game on the field, kind of talking about like these guys all went to college and played. We went the international route and we're still here, and like kind of talking a little bit about how seeing, like, walking in for the first time and seeing everything and like stopping to take it in. I wish that they actually paid a little bit more attention to those guys than they do. They kind of just use them as like these random sort of like clowns in a way, in terms of the way that they utilize them in like media, or not media, but like entertainment tropes and stuff. So I wish that they actually paid attention to them and highlighted them, as opposed to just like, oh, I want some of that cake. I would love to see like more about them and learn more about them, but maybe we're getting there or something like that. So I was glad to see them at the end there and the two of them connecting.
Let's see.
I also really liked, and I'm curious if you're going to bring this up, so I'm just going to say it this way: the credit scene.
What was the credit scene again?
It's the one where a dude's making fun of Dak Prescott because he only beat LSU once while at Mississippi
Oh yeah,
State.
yeah. That was funny. Yes.
He
Oh,
like
Lyle.
sings a song about him. Oh, is it Lyle Collins? Is that it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
which makes
So good.
sense.
Yeah.
Because he, of course, Lyle Collins went to LSU.
Yeah. So it was, and then I love like Zeke just over on the other side of the room, just taking it all in and enjoying it.
Man.
So it was really good.
Of course, we got Adam Dirty.
Yes.
And Boogie Basham coming up. Boogie Basham doing the accent, which is funny. I'm glad to see Boogie Basham just as charismatic over Hard Knocks as he is in real life, as I was able to talk to him at the Senior Bowl.
Yeah.
It's a good dude, and he's funny. And it was he had a funny part of this episode.
He did. Can we stop highlighting the freestyling at practice until it's actually good?
Nah, keep going. I like to see the bad stuff.
I remember who it was. I think it was DeMarcus Lawrence had one where he was going for a little bit and then completely fell off. And then then somebody else, I can't remember who it was, who was just not good. Not good. And you know what I mean? Like, I'm not good at that either, so I can't blame them. But I'm just saying, we don't need to highlight that. It's cool. Is Dak Prescott going to throw another pass downfield in the next episode, Dylan?
He's going to throw 8.
8. All right.
No. I'm trying to think of what else happened. DeMarcus Lawrence.
Yeah, it's cool getting a little bit of his story.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. What'd you say?
This is kind of an extrapolation, but Azur Kamara was somebody I really liked in the draft process. I knew the Saints would never draft him because he doesn't fit their prototype as an edge rusher or as a pass rusher. But can we just talk about how much his mother would be endeared in the city of New Orleans?
Yeah, I love a good football player mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. That family gets on my nerves a little bit less than Micah Parsons' family. Because they kind of keep to themselves. Micah Parsons' mom is out there yelling "Go son" as loud as she can, so everyone knows that that's someone on the field.
Go number 11. That's my son.
Right. It's like, I need everyone to know my kid's out there. And I get it. Like, you should be very proud, and I don't mean to slander anyone's
that would
mom.
be my mom. That'd be my mom. My mom did it when I was on the bench at soccer games whenever I was 7. So it's all good.
All that my mom ever did was talk crap about other people's kids during games. She never cheered for me. She just talked crap about other people's kids.
I went to go to one of the soccer games that Maddie was doing the PA announcing for. Friend of the show, Maddie Hudak, follow her on Twitter. I was doing the PA for her, and I went, and it was like to get into the playoffs, and
Right.
I couldn't say that much because one of the players' moms was behind us, and it was a player who had eventually in that game gotten a red flag for stomping on the crotch of a player on the New Orleans team, and that the mom said, "My kid wouldn't do that," even though it happened 20 feet in front of us.
Literally, right. Like, we are not that far away. This is not a football field.
Nope.
We are not that far away.
My kid wouldn't do that. Yeah, he did, right in front of our faces,
Oh my goodness.
and got a red flag for it.
I love that. The only time I've ever like sat next to someone's parent while they were doing something on like that level of a stage or whatever was when I went to see Blue Man Group in Las Vegas. I sat next to one of the Blue Men's mothers. It was really cool.
Was she also in blue pink?
No, she was not a Blue Man. I can't say it is not a genetic thing.
So it must have been the father.
I can't say it is not a genetic thing or hereditary thing. No, but it was really cool. It was awesome to see, and it was like his first performance with them or something like that.
I've never seen the Blue Man Group live. I saw the Harlem Globetrotters once, and I feel like that's kind of the same thing.
Have I seen the Globetrotters? I don't think I saw the Globetrotters. I saw a college slam dunk contest one time, and it was incredible. It was when the guy that eventually ended up going to N1, they called helicopter. It was when he was still in college.
Oh, can I talk about? We've been talking a lot about nicknames.
Oh, yeah.
Can I talk about a potential favorite nickname in the NBA?
Of course.
They call Davion Mitchell Off Night because if he's guarding you, gonna have an off night.
I love it.
And that's pretty awesome.
And,
I want to, and Ross, watching Davion Mitchell play some on-ball defense is some of the most fun I've had.
He's wild fun to watch during Summer League. He's been wild fun to watch.
Here we go. Peyton Pritchard coming into the Summer League final. 20.3 points per game, 51.4 field goal percentage, 57.7 3-point percentage, and 1.3 turnovers. Pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Peyton Pritchard guarded by Davion Mitchell in the Summer League final. 4 points, 2 of 6 field goals, 0 of 3 3-pointers, and 4 turnovers. Off night. So much fun. So much fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
I do love that nickname, I have to say. And I wanna share this. I wanna share this video, and then we can go to break. How does that sound?
That sounds great.
Here we go. Share that. Share this, and watch this. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, it was. That's not the video I wanted to share, but it was just Davion Mitchell with some lockdown defense. And
He's got the clamps. He's got the clamps. He's so fun to watch.
What would you do, Ross? Because this is why you don't draft a player like this. Because now you have to make a decision. Because you already have 2 highly drafted young guards, and then you draft a third, and three guards that cannot play on the court at the same time together. But you know what? They do need bigs.
True.
Do you trade De'Aaron Fox? Would you trade De'Aaron Fox for Ben Simmons, knowing you have Davion Mitchell in the wings?
I think so.
Because they've had the
They've
had the conversations already about a De'Aaron Fox and Ben Simmons trade. And now, of course, it's just Summer League, so you don't want to do anything too rash yet, but you're definitely more open to it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Especially after you've seen Davion Mitchell go out there and play. And like, I get it. Like,
and it was stuff that translates to the NBA.
That's the thing. It's like, Deuce and I had a whole conversation around like traits-based evaluation as opposed to being concerned around what you're seeing from an opponent and everything. Like evaluating what you're seeing from the player. Are they making good decisions? Are they doing the right thing? Are they staying in front of their man? Like all these other things that you have to look at. I don't know all the traits that you watch for in the NBA as intimately as I do for positions in the NFL. But I think good defense is pretty self-explanatory, and I think that that's something that can carry up to the next level of competition.
Footwork. I mean, his footwork's going to look the same in the NBA versus the Summer League. That's not something different, you know? It's just, he looks good. And that's that. And he was doing that against an NBA player. And Peyton Pritchard. All right, Ross, you want to head to break real quick?
Let's do us a little break, and then we'll be back here in just a moment. We'll talk more Summer League because we got to talk about the Summer League champions and then the team that won the Summer League. We'll talk about all of that as we continue on with today's episode here. Dylan and Ross, Save Sports, Full Press Coverage, Full Press Radio Network. All right. Little audio break.
Here we are in video. Oh, man. What you been doing? What you been up to, Ross? Anything fun?
I've been working, man. Working.
Sounds like fun. Can I share with you a take that we Can I share with you a take that we shouldn't do?
Okay.
Raiders selected Alex Leatherwood before Christian Darrisaw and Tevin Jenkins. Many people, including myself, thought that was a mistake. Darrisaw had a groin surgery and is questionable for week 1. Jenkins has having back surgery and could miss the season. Credit Gruden and Mayock. Let's not do that.
And let's talk about why you don't do that. Here's why you don't do that. You don't use the personal health and or injury status of another player, someone that got hurt, to back up your own draft take. Just to be very, very clear, that's gross. It's
Yeah.
really, really gross.
Like that guy over in Denver that once Joe Burrow tore up his knee was like, "Oh, look at me! I told you."
It's just a weird choice. Like, don't worry about that. Like, don't do that. It's just bad. It's a bad look. It's a bad look, and it's honestly like there's already enough of an issue within, particularly the NFL, and I'll say professional sports as a whole, to where people remove the humanity of players.
Oh yeah, totally.
And further contributing to that in this way is just a little gross. It's very gross. It's not a little gross.
Ooh. We'll talk about this when we come back, but we have co-MVPs of the NBA Summer League, Ross.
Ooh.
Sacramento's Davion Mitchell
Uh-huh.
and Brooklyn's Cam Thomas. Oh, walking bucket Cam Thomas.
Walking bucket
Ross,
Cam Thomas.
Ross, I gotta be real. I will not shut up about Cam Thomas ever, unless he sucks.
I don't blame you.
But I told people, Ross, before he even stepped on the court at LSU, might I add, that man was going to be a bucket.
Walking bucket.
And
that's great. I think that's well deserved.
He's a walking bucket.
He's a walking bucket.
Ross, you know how many points he scored in his last Summer League game?
40 of them things?
36 of them dangs.
Oh, it was close.
Close enough. And he hit some game winners.
Mm-hmm.
He had to be MVP, but so did Davion Mitchell.
I like it.
Shout out.
Big fan. All right. How much?
Jalen Green. Not just saying Jalen Green would be a Summer League MVP if he didn't have a little tightness in his hammy, and they're like, nope, we're not risking that because of course it's a shortened distance. It's normally Summer League and regular season normally like 2.5 months. Now it's like 6 weeks until training camp.
Yeah.
So
ooh, it's insane. All right, y'all. We are back here. Dylan and Ross Save Sports, Full Press Coverage, Full Press Radio Network. Dylan and I were just talking a little bit about the co-MVPs for Summer League. Dylan, why don't you run that by one more time?
We have Sacramento Kings Davion Mitchell and the Brooklyn Nets walking bucket Cameron Thomas.
Walking bucket. Yeah, we were talking about how that is very much deserved.
And great for the brand.
And great for the brand. Great for the brand, for sure. Yeah, a little bit more of a truncated process here over the course of the NBA offseason, with NBA season set to begin October 19th. Are you excited? That's 2 months away for you to see Jalen Green in regular season action.
Oh, I can't wait, man. I can't wait. Ooh.
I guess I'll just say back in action, honestly.
I want to ask you something, Ross, as an impartial third party, because my Twitter has been very toxic for the past day and a half.
Surprise, surprise.
How do you feel about Jalen Green and his interviews so far?
I think he's providing entertainment. I don't have any problem with his interviews so far.
Also, the thing is, Ross, that people don't need to remind themselves is that he is being asked these questions.
Right, he's not just talking.
They're like in every interview he brings up the fact that he was passed up 4 times on draft night. Someone specifically asked him to say, "Oh, what do you have to say to the teams that passed you up?" It's a very common thing.
Right. Yeah, no, it's not like he's just choosing to have that conversation. Like he's being asked that question.
Also, yeah, he did go after the city of Detroit, but it also, if you read the full quote, it's a little bit more tame than what people are putting it out to be, I would say.
Wait a minute, are you insinuating? Are you insinuating that somehow, some way, somebody pulled specific moments from that quote and then only blasted those very specific moments?
I mean, he did say that, like, he didn't want to, like he wouldn't feel as safe in Detroit as he would in Houston,
right,
and wouldn't want to do more things. So people of Detroit hate Jalen Green now, but I think it's good for the sport, if I'm being honest.
I like the rivalries. Give me Jalen Green versus the city of Detroit. Give me Trae Young versus the city of New York versus New York City. Like, give me all of that. I'm all about that.
People people always love to say like, hey, we want our athletes to have like personality and we want our athletes to, talk trash. That's more fun. And then as soon as someone starts doing it, they're like, oh, he needs to stop talking. Be humble.
Right.
But also at the same time, there's the same people that are like, ooh, I love Michael Jordan and Kobe. They had no chill. They were not humble. They flexed. They talked a lot of trash. Which one is it?
Right. Right.
They're also
it's
like,
interesting because it's like people are going to, and this is not out of the ordinary, right? This is no big time evaluation on my part. People are going to utilize the same information to drive their individual narrative, and they're going to twist it so that it matches whatever matches what they feel in that moment. Oh, Michael Jordan was a competitor and he was cocky and he was an idol and he was blah, blah, but also Michael Jordan talked too much or whatever. Like they'll use all of those different, or Jalen Green's talking too much or whatever.
And another thing people keep mentioning is like how he mentions the chip on his shoulder that he wasn't drafted first overall. And people are like, oh no, he was drafted second. How poor Jalen Green or whatever. If that's what he wants to use as motivation, what's the problem?
Right.
If he thinks he's the best player in the class, I mentioned this on Twitter. If he thinks he's the best player in the class, of course he's going to want to try and prove it. And what's wrong with that? And someone's like, well, what's he doing to prove it? I said, the season hasn't started yet.
What do you want him to do right now?
What do you want him to
do? You want him to win the NBA Finals before the season began?
And also people are saying, wow, Detroit made the good call. Cade Cunningham is way more mature. 2 points. A, Cade Cunningham has a child. That immediately,
Dad strength.
Yeah, that immediately will force you to mature earlier. As opposed to Jalen Green, who has had like 1 million followers on Instagram since he was 15 years old. Shocking that he's not the most humble person ever. I will say that. And then also, what does Cade Cunningham have to do with this?
Right. Yeah,
he was drafted first overall.
Right.
He has nothing to be like mad about. And also, Jalen Green's not attacking Cade Cunningham. Jalen Green has only said that he respects him. He just thinks that he's better.
Yeah.
Which everyone thinks that they're the best player in the class. But Jalen Green's the only one. Jalen Green's the only one saying it because Jalen Green's the only one being asked it.
Right. And that's the thing too, is like you have to remember that reporters,
people keep saying, hey, yeah, man, I don't like this kid. Jalen Green's talking too much. He's the only one getting interviews.
Right.
So
it's like if I know that there's a specific question that I can ask that this kid is going to really not react to, but is going to have a good soundbite for and is going to, have something that he wants to say and all this stuff, I'm going to ask him that question.
Oh,
like, of course I'm going to ask him that question. Like, that's the entire point.
Yeah.
That's the entire point. And so it's like, maybe he does enjoy talking about it because every time that he talks about it, it motivates him. But there's nothing wrong with that either.
No. Find motivation in whatever it takes. That was the whole point of The Last Dance.
Right.
Is that Michael Jordan found motivation in the small things.
Yeah.
And we all celebrated it. Called him crazy for it. But I was like, this is why he was so good.
Right. So I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Very, very interesting. I mean, you're always going to get double standards too, right? Like you get the opportunity to look back at Michael Jordan and know that his career was successful, and therefore you can say X happened because of, or Y happened because of X. With Jalen Green, you can't say that yet. Right? He's just now showing up in the NFL. He's saying things that people don't like. And so therefore the only thing that's there at the moment is him saying things that people don't like. Because as you mentioned earlier, what is he going to do to prove anything at this moment before the season begins, right? And so I think that becomes a big part of it too, is that like there's a double standard, but there's kind of an understandable double standard because we know how the story ends with Michael Jordan. We don't know how the story even so much as begins when it comes to Jalen Green yet.
And the funny thing about this is that either of these fan bases acting like either of these teams are going to be good in the next 3 years.
Right.
Yeah. Someone was like, "Oh, just wait until Cade Cunningham's teammates are," because of course the Rockets beat the Pistons in summer league. So I was like, just wait until Kate Cunningham's teammates are Jeremy Grant and Isaiah Stewart, a second-year center. So, okay.
Awesome.
Also, fun fact about that game, Ross: 4 out of the 5 Pistons starters were starting in that game where they lost the Rocket Summer League team.
Oh, wow.
No, 3 out of the 5.
Oh,
but
okay.
there was also more of their bench. Their bench was also playing because they're really young.
Right.
And they got mollywopped by the Rocket Summer League team.
Mollywopped, he said.
So, yeah, sorry, Pistons fans. You're not going to be good very soon, and neither will Rockets. That's all good.
It's going to be very interesting to watch. Who do you think is the NBA team right now that was like not very good last year, or even let's just say subpar last year, that's going to be better this year?
The Summer League champions, Ross, the New Orleans Pelicans.
Oh. I thought you were going to say Sacramento Kings. I was ready to accept that. But you're right. The Sacramento Kings won the Summer League, but the New Orleans Pelicans are clearly the Summer League champions.
Ross, were you able to watch that last game?
I didn't watch the last game yet. I'm going to.
All right.
I haven't watched it yet.
Can I spoil a sequence for you?
Of course.
Let me see. All right. Let's watch this together, Ross, and we can explain what's going on for our audio listeners.
I love it.
So this is 3 straight possessions in the Pelicans versus Timberwolves game.
That's not a good pass. Marshall steps in for the cross-court pass behind the back. Holmes!
All right. So there's a slam
nice
dunk
behind the back pass from Najee Marshall for it.
Dalton all over the rim.
Here you go. A steal now thrown down the court. Pass. All right. And then one more.
Jeez. Another steal. Going back the other way. That's like 6 points in, 12 seconds?
Mm-hmm. Someone, one of the announcers said, my favorite quote of the Summer League, we're playing an all-star game right now and no one told the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Oh, jeez.
And I also have one more video to show from the Summer League.
Yeah, please.
And this one's audio,
and
it is. I need to find it again. But it is. I want to shout out why Renee Montgomery needs to be calling more games next season. I just need to find the full clip.
No worries. While you pull it up, just to make sure that we have it and that we've gone over it. The Sacramento Kings are the Summer League champions officially with their 100-67 win over the Boston Celtics. So they will finish 5-0 on the Summer League season with the crown, and then the New Orleans Pelicans effectively being these kind of, we make a lot of jokes about them being the Summer League champions because they deserve to be in the Summer League final, but unfortunately because they didn't score enough points, they were not. So, or have enough of a point differential, they were not. So 87-59, they win their final game up against the Minnesota Timberwolves as well, who will finish up 4-1. So there were a lot of undefeated teams going into, or there were a couple of undefeated teams going into this last matchup.
Mm-hmm. All right, here we go. It's this clip, and I just want to share this wonderful commentary by Renee Montgomery and point out why we need more of her in the NBA. Oh, wait, I should probably share the screen first.
Value in Kuminga, Renee. My goodness.
That is in Kuminga, and I think Oliver actually got a hand on that as well. Tough shot right there, trying to finish between those two.
Kuminga's going to get this last look.
Uh-oh.
Top of the arc. Crossover.
Hey.
Kuminga, stop playing.
Yes. Oh, I love it so much. That's so dope. Oh my gosh. Finally, somebody who's talking about the game of basketball, talking about it the way that people who watch basketball talk about basketball. Oh, that's outstanding.
Dude, yeah. People
That's
need
one of the
to.
reasons why I love Antonio Daniels so much, is that he talks about basketball the way that people are watching talk about basketball.
I was watching someone. I was watching. It was like a young. It was a young. It was a young play-by-play, and then the color announcer, I think, was older, or vice versa. I forgot it was. It was an away stream. I was watching a Rockets game, and one of the young guy was like, "Ooh, and one," or whatever after it, and the old guy was like, "We don't say and one. That's not a technical basketball term." And I was like,
Get out of here. Goodbye.
Like what?
Goodbye. Get off the television. Get off the
He's like,
television. Get off the radio.
I don't say and one. I will say and the free throw attempt or something like that. He like the technical term. I was like, okay.
Wow.
Old it.
Dang. That's sad to hear. That's sad to hear, because it's like that's the type of things where like people are having fun. It's a game. I mean, I know it's also a $1 billion industry, but part of the reason why it's a $1 billion or billions of dollar whatever industry is because people attracted to it because it's fun. It's fun to watch. It's fun to be a part of. It's fun to play. I get it, but like, please don't die on that hill. Please don't die on that hill. Oh, and one is not a technical term. We don't say that around here. All right, bye.
Okay.
See ya. See ya. This
Get
is the
outta
NBA.
here.
You could take that to your like D2, community college basketball game or whatever. But I promise you, they're also having more fun than you are too.
All Summer League first team, Ross.
Oh, let's get it.
Jalen Johnson of the Hawks, Davion Mitchell of the Sacramento Kings, Peyton Pritchard, Jalen Smith of the Phoenix Suns, Cam Thomas of the Brooklyn Nets, Obi Toppin of the New York Knicks, and Trey Murphy III of the New Orleans Pelicans.
He was outstanding, man. Like, he was really fun to watch throughout Summer League, excuse me.
And then the All Summer League second team, Cade Cunningham of the Pistons, Luka Garza of the Pistons, Paul Reed of the 76ers, Patrick Williams of the Chicago Bulls, and Jalen Green of the Houston Rockets. Ross?
You think Jalen Green is upset that he ended up on second team as opposed to first team?
Probably. I'm going to go check his Instagram.
It's just another reminder that he was drafted second rather than first.
Imagine Cade Cunningham wins Rookie of the Year as opposed to Jalen Green. Man.
And that Jalen Green is runner-up, like immediately right after him.
Yeah. Ross.
Dylan.
Who is going to win? We're done with Summer League. Free agency's down.
Overreaction time?
Reaction time. Overreaction time. Ross, who is going to win the NBA Finals?
I wanted to be fun, and I wanted to say the Sacramento Kings because they won the Summer League, but we know that that's just not going to be true. So I guess I will go more sensible and say the New Orleans Pelicans. I'm joking. No, I mean, I would love to see the Suns back in there. I think Boston's going to be a little bit surprising this year. I don't expect the Lakers, but I do have a certain level of expectation for the Clippers and the Nets this year.
All right.
To be the final matchup.
I'm picking it.
Oh.
NBA Finals champions, the Brooklyn Nets.
That's what I was going for too. I think it's going to be the Clippers and the Nets. Clippers and the Nets in the finals, and then the Nets will win. And my very good friend TJ Medell will be remarkably excited because he is a lifelong Brooklyn or lifelong Nets fan.
So am I, Ross, because while the Rockets are in the rebuild, I have to be a Nets fan for right now because they got James Harden and Cameron Thomas, and
Makes
I
perfect sense.
I gotta have someone that's good to root for. So might as well root for the best. But no, I genuinely think that it's going to be the Brooklyn Nets.
Same.
I think this is a championship roster. Should everyone stay healthy?
Yeah.
Lord willing, everyone stay healthy.
Yeah.
Coach of the year, Ross.
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. I don't really know that I have an opinion or a strong enough opinion on that.
Should the New Orleans Pelicans finish with a top 5 seed, I think it'll be Willie Green.
I would love for that to be the case. I just didn't want to. I didn't want to be the one to say it. But
Willie Green, Nate McMillan is also
that's a good point. He kind of could have gotten it last year.
Mm-hmm. Maybe Monty Williams gets the respect he deserves this year. Mm-hmm. Because remember, he lost it last year. I think it was Tibbs that won it.
Yep.
So, or was it Quinn Snyder? I don't know.
I can't remember.
One of them old white dudes.
It was somebody I didn't feel like actually deserved it over Monty Williams, personally.
Well, because no one deserved it over Monty Williams because he should have won. Most improved player, do you have a pick?
Most improved? About who dealt with some injuries last year. I don't know if this would count. I mean, I guess it could happen. If Ben Simmons gets traded and has a really nice season somewhere, I think he could be an interesting one. Yeah, I don't know. My list isn't very long on that one either.
My pick, Roy Hachimura.
Oh, sure.
Out of the Washington Wizards. I think the Wizard team is going to be better than people think. I think they're going to open up more opportunities. I think Spencer Dinwiddie as the point guard is going to lead it to everyone being a lot better than Russell Westbrook was whenever he was the point guard.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just think that team fits together a lot better now.
Yeah.
Maybe Nickeil Alexander-Walker is another popular pick for this one.
Really? What about your guy, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander?
If he stays healthy and performs out, yeah. But people also kind of already expect him to show out.
So that makes it a little bit tougher.
He'd have to do really good.
Yeah, that kind of puts him in the category of
because no one expected Julius Randle.
Right.
Julius Randle's numbers didn't improve that much, but he played a lot better. Jalen Green. I mean, not Jalen Green. Jalen Green winning most improved on his first year. I would agree. Yeah, totally. No, it would be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. People already expect him to perform well.
Yeah, and that is a little bit of a disadvantage. It's kind of a similar disadvantage of being a second-year player. You're not going to win it as a second-year player.
No, it's really hard to win as a second-year player. Brandon Ingram, again, won it. He had a huge step up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Trying to think.
We could look at rookie. Well, I don't want to do rookie of the year because that's pretty.
Sixth man of the year?
We can do sixth man of the year because I think I know my answer to that one based upon the playoffs last year, actually.
Who do you think sixth man of the year is going to be?
I like Joe Ingles in that category.
Joe Ingles. That's a good one. Patty Mills, maybe, if he continues his stellar play.
A good one.
If the Warriors are good again, Jordan Poole.
Oh, wait.
What?
I thought you were about to say somebody else. You said Jordan Poole. I was just about to say Jordan Clarkson.
Ooh, Jordan Clarkson back-to-back?
Back-to-back.
Mm-hmm.
I could see him doing it.
And then lastly, Ross, who's your pick? Pick right now.
Oh.
Rookie of the year.
Oh, rookie of the year? You know what? I'm going to pick... Hold on. I'm going to do a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
I want to roll with my dude, Jalen Suggs.
I like it.
I don't care what anybody says. I'm rolling with my dude, Jalen Suggs.
Ross, no, I will say the last time the number one overall pick won it was 2016.
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often that it's the number one guy.
Carl Anthony Towns.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, technically, Ben Simmons was the first overall pick and won it, but it was the year after.
Right.
He came back, and people, like to make fun of that pick.
Yeah.
So my 2021 Rookie of the Year pick is obviously Ben Simmons. No, I'm saying it's going to be Jalen Green.
Jalen Green. You know who else would be really interesting? And if he keeps doing what he did to make Renee Montgomery do what she did. Jonathan Kuminga. Yakum.
Yakum. All right. The only thing I'm going to say on Jonathan Kuminga right now is stop calling him that stupid nickname. His name is Kuminga.
So stupid. It's so
his
stupid.
name is Kuminga.
Childish.
His name is Kuminga. Kuminga's a dope name. Jonathan Kuminga is an awesome name. So just stick with that.
Right.
Please.
Please.
Please. He's 18. He's a kid. He does not deserve to have this follow him for the rest of his life.
For real. All right, should we do the big one? Because I actually already put money on this one.
You already put money on it? Yes. Who is the MVP?
James Harden.
Ooh, it's a wonder like that.
It is James Harden. He was, man, if it wouldn't have been for his season, like, almost shortening, essentially, last year, it was all his. It was all his in 2021 or 2020. And and I have no reason to believe that that's not going to be the case in 2021. I'm on James.
The odds-on favorite is Luka.
Who? Hookah?
Luka.
Yeah, I get that.
My pick is, people are going to want to. It's a feel good story, which is weird because for a while they were the villains. But I'm going to go Steph. The Warriors back with Clay.
That's another Coach of the Year opportunity too.
Steve Kerr
there with Steve Kerr, yeah.
What about his son?
Team back. Oh, Nicholas.
Nicholas Kerr.
Oh,
that was an all-time poor decision.
that might be Steve Kerr's worst coaching decision ever.
100%. I would go by my middle name. What's his middle name?
Oh, wow.
What's his middle name? I would go by my middle name.
Something mad questionable.
That's the wrong.
Wrong what?
That's the wrong Nicholas. That's the wrong Nicholas Kerr.
Oh.
Where is he? The worst is that he goes by the shorten. He goes by Nick.
I know he does it. You know how it goes.
I do not know his son. I don't know his son's middle name.
That's fair. What about you know what we didn't do? We didn't do Defensive Player of the Year. Do you want to do that real quick?
Depoy. Why is his name escaping me?
Where does he play?
Orlando. Manager. Oh, sorry. Jonathan Isaac.
Oh, Jonathan Isaac. Okay.
He's definitely got a shot to win it.
Yeah. I'm going Matisse Thybulle.
Tease.
I know it's a weird. I know it's like a kind of out there pick. I wanted to make an out there pick on this because Defensive Player of the Year often is out there. So that's where I'm going.
Yeah.
I'm going Matisse Thybulle.
It's not going to be
Ben Simmons.
Rudy Gobert.
Screen assist.
Trash.
He'll lead the league in screen assist though. Be great.
I am tired of that man. I also don't like the Utah Jazz, so that's probably why. But it's whatever. It's whatever.
Ooh.
All right, Ross. Anything else to close us out for the day? It was a fun one.
It was a fun one.
Yeah.
I
think that's it.
That's it. We'll be back on Friday, right? We'll be back on Friday. Thursday night there is a football game, preseason game, but Friday we'll have football. Friday we'll go ahead and make a bunch of picks for over the weekend and everything because we're degenerates and can't not pick football games. In fact, real quick, let's pick Thursday's football game real quick.
I'm all for it. Let's do it. Let's get it.
So we have the New England Patriots going up against the Philadelphia Eagles for this one.
Man, the old McCorkle versus
Jalen. That is a long time.
A classic.
A long time
classic
right there.
McCorkle versus Hurts. My McCorkle hurts.
New England favored minus 1.5 in this one. The over under is 39.
I'm gonna go Philly.
Okay.
I'm
going New England.
Oh, Ross, bad news. Tyree Jackson hurt, probably out for the year.
Oh no.
Tight end.
Yeah.
Tight end Tyree Jackson, probably out for the year.
That sucks.
Really not fun for me. Not great for the brand.
Not great for the brand.
And then so I'm gonna go Philly to cover, and then I'm definitely going the under. In this
I'm definitely going the under for sure. Right there with you. All right, so I got New England. Dylan's got Philly. We're both going under. We'll be back on Friday for Football Friday. We appreciate you joining us. Make sure you follow Dylan on Twitter at Dilly Sanders, myself on Twitter at Ross Jackson Nola, and of course, come and check us back out on Friday here on Full Press Coverage, Full Press Radio Network. It's been another episode of Dylan and Ross Save Sports. Dylan, what you got to say for the people?
I'd like to sit up there and say something that I've never said about an NFL team before. I mean, Atlanta Falcons might be the dumbest team